seconds? I've never talked for 90 seconds in my life. Wow, I've spoken probably about 20 tea parties around the country. Never did I think that I would only have to travel 2 miles from my home to be at a tea party in my community. That over the last 5 years, I realized that this spirit exists more so here than many places that I've traveled around the country, because 40 years ago, the left took over this town. McGovern lost, and the American people thought to themselves, hey, we just dodged a bullet. But Hollywood was taken over by the hard left, and they were about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and it was, well, people were getting laid up in the Hollywood Hills and doing every drug. The totalitarians took over, and just like in Cuba, just like in Venezuela, there's no First Amendment. There's just political correctness, and political correctness is cultural Marxism. And the first people to suffer by the left were those people in Hollywood who were the patriots that created the beacon that caused people to come here from around the world. They needed to turn our culture into a negation of who we are, and they did it. But people started to come up to me and started saying, I'm on the team. And they were black, and they were white, and they were gay, and they were in Hollywood, and they were actors, and they were writers, they were directors, they were punk rockers. People that I couldn't believe were saying, I'm on the team, buddy, and let's fight. And so before the Tea Party even started, I knew that this group of people in this town who have been in the closet because these overbearing leftist totalitarians said, well, it's just McCarthyism, okay? They make 3 movies a year about McCarthyism while they practice it. It's plausible deniability McCarthyism. And when I saw that good and decent patriots in this town cannot speak openly, I said, you know what? The only way we're going to win is to wage war against these people. And I don't care if they call it a culture war, because that's exactly what it is. And I went to Washington, D.C. well before the Tea Party happened, and I started to meet with Republican leaders in large meeting rooms, and I told them about the burden of the American people, the patriots in Hollywood, and they exist in large numbers. And if you really want to win in this country, you're going to have to fight the culture war. And you know what these people said to me, almost to a person? How can you get them to raise money for me? How can you get them to put their credibility and their neck on the line for me to raise an extra $20,000? I said, I don't think you understand that if they put $500 in your account, the Hollywood Reporter and Variety and the Los Angeles Times are going to look through it, and they're going to put them in the paper and say, hey, guess who is for Sarah Palin? Guess who's for this person? And they'd use Alinsky tactics to destroy you. It's plausible deniability, McCarthyism. And the Tea Party, to me, started here. They sensed that America, they were trying to send a message to figure out a way to tell America, don't make the bargain with the false mantra of hope and change. Because at the end of the day, what you're going to be visited by is thuggery. And what have we been witnessed over the last year and a half? I was in Chicago last week, and this is going to encapsulate the last year and a half. And I got out of a car, and I see 200 people chanting, "Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Stop the hate." Chants. Why do we not have chants? Why don't we have chants? Because we don't meet at a union hall on Monday and practice our chants. I walked up to them and I said, I know you guys. You're the SCIU. You're the guys that called Kenneth Gladney at the Russ Carnahan Town Hall an N-word and beat the crap out of him, and the Democratic machine suppressed a prosecution on a hate crime. I go, I know who you are. You're the haters. And so I started to go sign by sign by sign. I said, you don't even know why you're here. You're a herd. You're not an individual. This is a country of individuals, and you're a mass, and you want to be led. And I walked up. I said, your sign says Glenn Beck equals lies. Name one lie. Not 50, not 100. Name one lie that Glenn Beck has told. Badur, 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 badur. The organizer of this group, the social justice minister, love that term, said, I'm not going to fall into that trap. Okay, it was a truth trap. One example of a lie. You're here, you drove in city school buses, and you couldn't come up with one lie of going back. Then I went to the next person. The person said, probably many. And then the next person, I said, Glenn Beck's a coward. Why is he a coward? Ba-dee, 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 ba-dee. You guys are just a bunch of losers. Are going to be the last to realize that you're the ultimate dupes, and you're the ones who are going to suffer because you're going to lose your jobs because people are going to leave your state to go where government is not oppressing everybody. They don't even understand it. So they're leaders. There's not a leader here. Everybody here came here on their own volition. They got organized by the SEIU. And what happened at that event? It's called astroturfing. It's the opposite of grassroots, which is what this is. And what happened? As their organizers said, get away from him. He's trying to provoke you. One person against 350, and they started to walk away. And as they started to walk away, one lady says, as they're chanting, stop the hate, she says, I think he's gay. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. I love the SEIU. I love the organized left because they're not individuals. We have to start confronting them. It's not just the SEIU, it's the mainstream media. They're just as predictable, and we are exposing them every step of the way. I said, hey, I'm at an anti-hate rally and you just called me gay. That's lovely. Why did you call me gay? Another guy says, because of the way you talk. I go, we've got another winner. And so they go away, they get into their buses, and they drove away. We can beat these people. We can beat these people. They're thugs. And I'm going to leave you with this note. Because before I came here, I was at Dolores's, having a patty melt down on Santa Monica Boulevard. And a Hispanic man with long hair says, his name's Sergio, he says, thank you for what you're doing. You have no idea how many Hispanics are on the team. And he goes, I'm a session guitarist in this town. I said, I want to introduce you to some of my friends. I'm getting it everywhere I go. What the media doesn't understand, this is what's exciting. This is what is so exciting to me. As they've tried to falsely portray the Tea Party as racist because they branded the Republican Party for so long as racist, this totally purist people movement scares the crap out of the left. Because the people who know oppression the most, as I said, Hollywood, they knew it, 40 years of it. Blacks and Hispanics who are told that they're an Uncle Tom or a Tio Tomas or whatever, who are told that you don't have a right to think what you want to think in the United States of America. And so the black candidates and the Hispanic candidates have risen through the Tea Party ranks. And as they've tried to destroy the movement by falsely branding it as racist, on November 3rd, you're going to see black candidates who have been elected. How could that possibly be? Because we, the people, no longer trust the mainstream media. It's over. The days of the mainstream media are over. It's all happening at the same time. Did you see what happened last week? David Weston's gone at ABC News. We've got Jeff Zucker's gone at NBC. Their business model is going to crap, not because they can't figure out CGI or 3D. It's because they have a contempt for their audience. They have a contempt for the American people. And the reason that these journalists got into this is not in order to tell the truth or to be stenographers. It's to affect social change and to create economic justice, which is all a grand euphemism for communism. But we, the people, have realized after this 1.5-year battle, this 1.5-year war, that the way to get rid of Nancy Pelosi, the way to get rid of Harry Reid, the way to get rid of Barack Obama, and the way to get rid of Acorn was to aim it straight at Charlie Gibson, Brian Williams, and Katie friggin' Couric. They're the enemies of this movement. They're the ones that ignore when we show posters of an American Air Force veteran from Iraq and Afghanistan portrayed as Hitler. We captured on tape, and our video follows them going into the Congresswoman Halverson's office. Anna Markowski, Ben Dobbins worked for Organizing for America. They put on that rally. Organizing for America also put on the Stop the Hate rally. Can you imagine if George Bush, during the war, created a fake protest against the anti-warriors? Do you remember the mantra, dissent is patriotic? They're hypocrites, they're liars, they've been at war with us for an entire lifetime, and we're finally fighting back. But you all have to realize you are now the journalists. You must videotape everything. You must be vicious to these people, because they want to take away everything that we hold dear. Thank you very much.
Andrew Breitbart.